Hello, and welcome to episode 62 of Moms with Yarn. My name is Sharon. I'm known as Bronx Knitter 1 on Ravelry and Bronx Knitter on Instagram. Welcome. Today is August 22nd, 2017, and I am kind of on time. What I did earlier was I record outside, and when I brought the video inside to edit, there were so many planes that went by and they're so much louder outside. I don't know if you can still hear them. I'll find out. I don't know if you can still hear them now, but it's like every 5 minutes a plane went over. And it's so loud, you can practically feel your chest rattle. And the airport is actually only about 4 miles away from my house. So that's LaGuardia Airport. So I don't know, it's just annoying. But I don't mind doing this a second time because I'd rather get it right and be less annoying and having to warn you 4 or 5 times to quick take your earbuds out so they don't get blown out by the plane engine going. So we're going to make believe I didn't do this already, and I'm going to try to remember everything I said before. So I'm going to get to my finished objects. The first finished object I have is the Flower Basket Lace Shawl by Evelyn Clark. And I made it with Yarn Treehouse Luster Alpaca in gray. And I use a size 8 needle, which is a 5mm. And the shawl is unblocked, but it looks like this. I'm much happier with how it came out with this size. It's not blocked, but it's not all lacy holes, and I can see the leaves. And this is a very hairy yarn. Has an extremely big halo, which you can see when the sun shines on it. And it comes in scarf size, small shawl, and large shawl. And each one of those sizes has a small, medium, and large, and maybe even an extra large for each size. So I made the largest small shawl I could make, and it came out this size. So it's not blocked, and it's going to be a lot bigger, but I would say it's my wingspan. Well, a little bit more. There's some left over here. A little bit more, and when it's blocked it'll probably be even bigger. And it was a little bit boring to make, which is why I went as far as I could and did as much as I could. This yarn is a little bit scratchy, and I gotta say, I tried to do it with a variegated, and the design seemed to get lost, so I went for a solid. And not only was it got tedious at the end, so I went as long as I could, and I'm happy with the color, but I don't think this color suits me. I think it should be something different, something a little more exciting. I don't know. I like the pattern. There's nothing wrong with the pattern. It's easy as pie, but I don't care for the color. So I'll figure out if this is going in the holiday gift basket, and I'll go from there because I like it, don't love it. The next thing I made is a pair of plain vanilla socks. And I used Knit Picks Felici in the Beyond the Wall colorway, but it was a special reserve, so I don't know if you can still get this one. But the socks came out. Oops. Socks came out like this. And you can see there's a little design element. So what I did was, every time I came to a color change, I knit one stitch with the color change, and then I would knit one, slip one, knit one, slip one, until I finished the row. And then all the rest of the rows I knit plain till I came to the next color change, and kept going. So I was pretty impressed with my yarn management, and there was a lot of management. How the socks came out almost matching perfectly. I think it was off by one row, and that didn't happen until I got to the toe. This one's a little longer than this one. Longer in color, not in length. So it worked out pretty well, and I'm pretty happy with them. So that was my next finished object. And my last finished object, you may remember, I had gotten some yarn from Love Knitting in the UK. A woman named Yelena contacted me and said that she'd like me to try her yarn, and I said I would. And so it came in this pretty organza bag, and she gave me 3 colors. She gave me Berry, which is a purpley kind of color. She gave me Storm, which is gray, and she gave me Putty. So these were the 3 colors I had to work with. I hope you can see them all. So the yarn is nice and squishy, and the yarn is Milla Mia Sweden Naturally Soft Merino. So I went to my Ravelry library to try to see if I could find something that lets me use all 3 colors without having to jump through hoops to get it done. And what I came up with was a pattern called Commitment Issues by Heather R. Robinson. When I got it, was a free pattern on Ravelry, and I don't know if it's still free, but anyhow, this is what I made. It's a cowl, and I used all 3 colors, and as you saw, I used up most of the yarn that she gave, and it took about 3 days to make. I made the mitered squares. Each one takes about 30 minutes to make, and then I sewed them together, which took about a half day to make or to do, and then I picked up stitches along the edge, and so this is what I got. The pattern, the original pattern, the user had 4 colors, I think. I only had 3, so for my 4th square for each one, I made one solid mitered square. So that's what I got. I'm not going to be real happy weaving in ends, but I'm going to do it. And I can wear it just like this, once over, or I can make it twice over, and it fits around my neck without choking. So it was a good deal. Not a bad idea. A good way to use up mini skeins if you have them. Wrong way, right way, wrong way, and sticking out all over the place. If you have mini skeins, or if you know, leftovers from making socks, gives you something to do with them. Not everything has to go inside your shoe. The pattern calls for, I think it called for a DK weight, And this was not, this was more like, or maybe it called for sport, I can't remember. But I used what I had, and I used a US 4, I believe. Yes, a 3.5 millimeter needle. And so the only thing I have to do is clean it up and weave in the ends, by weaving in the ends, and it's done. There's a plane going by. I wonder where those people are going. I wish I was going. So, the last thing I started on was my Spirit of Rhinebeck sweater. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to Rhinebeck this year. I'm hoping that I can. But even if I can't, I'm still making this sweater because it's been in my queue and it's been on my mind ever since I saw the pattern. But I seem to have put it someplace. So hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So my Rhinebeck sweater comes from this book, Knitting Short Rows, by Nancy Dassau. And the Buttonside sweater is the one I'm making, and that's the one on the cover. I put in a bookmark so you can see what the sweater looks like. Looks like this. So it's kind of a boxy sweater, which is good because I needed to cover up a few of my crimes. And I am using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in the Haze Heather colorway. It's light purple with medium purple and blue, which you can't really see. The sweater, I know, calls for a DK weight, and this is worsted, but it doesn't matter if it comes out too big. It'll be a big problem if it comes out too small. So I cast on this morning, and this is as far as I got. It's as far as I got because now starts the short rows. So this is a shoulder and this is a shoulder. Okay, can you picture it? I can. So that's as far as I got, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish this in time for Rhinebeck in case I do get to go. The reason why I think I'm stuck is because I don't really have a car anymore. I was hoping to get one this summer because my car is raggedy and I wouldn't take it's so unsafe to drive. I wouldn't even take it to the grocery store. So hopefully if I make it to Rhinebeck, you'll see me there wearing my new Buttonside sweater. However, I did make a backup plan in case I couldn't finish the Buttonside. You know, button drama and forgetting where I was in the pattern and all that stuff. Considering that all of that could happen, I have 3 other sweater choices I could make instead of this sweater, or in addition to, it doesn't matter. I need to make all the sweaters because I find them, I put them in my favorites, and they stay there forever, and when I finally do knit them, somebody else gets it. I need to make all the sweaters for me. Now that I'm home every day and retired, I should have enough time to knit for me, so that's what I'm gonna do. So that does it for everything. I just wanted to remind everybody that the Spirit of Rhinebeck sweater count goes from August 15th to October 15th. If you have made any progress at all, I hope you put it in the thread. I am teamed up again with Barb from the Flame and Fiber podcast. She has the same sweater cal. I believe we have the same rules, but you should use whatever knitting you're doing to poly dip, which means you should dip everywhere where your sweater is eligible. So for right now, the rules are that whips are allowed. So if you've made progress on your Spirit of Rhinebeck sweater, post it in the thread in the group so I can see where you are, since now you know where I am, which is just getting started, a week late. But I might have another sweater on the needles at the same time, just in case, just want to back myself up. So go over to Barb's podcast group and find out what her rules are, follow those, and dip there too. Anywhere. You get an extra entry if you use some of your hand spun to make your sweater, so go ahead. Make sure you let me know that you use some of your hand spun. And that's it pretty much. I'm gonna be, for the next 2 weeks, seeing how much progress I can make on this sweater before I come back and give you an update. But in the meantime, I'll be knitting away. I'll be knitting, a knitting fool. So until I see you then, happy knitting, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.